Good morning. I was just having a very relaxing Monday morning, but then the recruiter called back. But yeah, it's Monday, so I have a few interviews today later on in the afternoon, so I'm just trying to depuff my face right now. It's looking like a big old balloon. And I also started making my coffee. It's on hold setting right now. But this is really nice, actually. My mom got it for me and my sister for Christmas, and it's super refreshing. It's also really good because I'm having terrible sinus pressure, because the other thing was my recruiter called right when I was like in the midst of like sneezing and my nose is like so stuffed. So anyway, allergies terrible, but I will take you along with me on my week this week. A lot of interviews and stuff like that. Hopefully I get up to something interesting. I don't know. Big promises here. Breakfast time, got the other half of my croissant, have some tea. I'm trying to remember what the tea is called. Can't remember. It's the Korean tea. And then I also have coffee here, but breakfast and maybe some turtle chips. I love turtle chips. I also figured it out. So they don't have salt on the outside of the turtle. I get so much more excited talking about chips. But yeah, it actually has like corn dust on the outside, and the actual chip itself, I figured out what it tastes like in the American equivalent, Bugles. I love Bugles. I am just in my other room setting up a lot of things in my planner. And then I'm also certifying my unemployment for last week. I'm also very curious, again, I think I talked about this yesterday, wow, my hair. But I think I talked about this yesterday, that I'm very curious how every state does it. I've only been unemployed one time, obviously, so this is like my first experience, and it's pretty slick, I think, in New York. It wasn't really that difficult. I think somebody I know had some issues over the pandemic time, but I think that was just because there were so many people trying to use the system. Adding in all my interviews for the week into my planner, trying to plan out my day, and then also replying to some emails and things like that. I think my call is at, yeah, I have a call. I haven't written in my planner yet, so excuse me. But I think my call is at 1, and I think I have another one at 2:30. So anyway, that is what's going on. I am just coming on here to tell you about a new YouTube channel. Oh, it's not new, it's new to me. Actually, it's not even that new. I've watched it before, but it's like one of those channels that plays like soothing music the entire day. But this one is the New York Coffee Shop Ambience Positive Morning Jazz for Good Mood Cafe ASMR Wake Up in New York from Little Love Jazz. It's really nice, and I've been having it on in the background when I've been doing my administrative work here, getting my calendar set up. So I always use this whiteboard. You can't see it because I'm also not going to show you, because it tells you all of my dirty little secrets about which companies I'm interviewing at. I've been using this whiteboard calendar that I bought at the Daiso. I think I showed it on this channel, but yeah, I like it because not only does it have the calendar, but it also has some notes pieces on the side, so I can handwrite some notes. But yeah, my weeks are kind of getting very full, so I'm a little bit worried. But I mean, it's a good sign, because I think eventually I'll find something, because I was getting to really the point where I'm kind of getting disheartened because I haven't heard back from a lot of the different companies that I've interviewed with for a lot of different rounds. And I'm kind of like, I'm probably like the second or third choice, obviously, but it's kind of like, will it ever happen? I don't know. The other issue is that I was kind of thinking about this when I got off the call with the recruiter. I'm not really feeling that company, if I'm being completely honest. There's some issues for me about the whole practice versus policy issue, and I understand that that's like a common thing, but it's also like there's so many of these like kind of like orange yellow flags going into kind of waiting for an offer that I'm kind of like, it's too many at this point that you can't really ignore it, or at least I can't ignore it. There's some other issues in terms of the benefits package, so I don't really care so much about compensation, but for this particular company, since there are so many yellow/orange flags, I would rather get a higher compensation as well. But like for benefits, I would rather see more PTO or like stuff like that. So this company only does 10 days PTO, which is very low. Even like they keep on saying like, oh well, it's like an American thing, you don't get PTO, people care more about compensation than any other thing, and like et cetera, et cetera. I was like, I don't know, PTO is pretty popular of a benefit. Because my last company, my colleagues and I were talking about it, because we've never gotten so few PTO hours/days, and I was at 240 per year at my last company, and that was very low for me. So what is that, like 6 weeks of vacation, which is not that many, like 30 days, because at the companies before that I was either unlimited or else I got 28 PTO days plus like 10 personal days and unlimited sick days, whereas my last company didn't give any sick days. So the company I just interviewed at gives 10 PTO days, and then they only have 10 holidays, which is also very low. They do give separate sick days, but it's 5 per year, which is okay, but it's kind of like, I don't know, 10 PTO days is so low. You can only take 2 weeks of vacation, which is so low. Couple of hours left to just keep doing my admin stuff, schedule up a few more things, and continue filling in. So I have that calendar that I talked about, and then I also have this planner that I use. I'll try to link this below, and then I also use this loop. I add this to all of my notebooks. Maybe it's annoying, but I'll link both of these. I got them both on Amazon, but I find that the loop is really helpful because I'm able to always put a pen in here, because I don't know why, but sometimes it's like bobby pins and hair bands. I can never find them when I need them, pens. So I always just put a pen in this loop, but the pen right now I'm getting use out of. The pen loop I have on all of my planners, and I bought like an 8-pack or something on Amazon. I just unboxed it, so I'll try to link that, but very highly recommend that because it's just a good, you know, quality of life thing. But this planner is really nice as well, and I'm getting a lot of use out of it. I just like having my calendar in multiple different locations, in a paper form, in the calendar on my wall form, and then also my ad calendar, because I don't know, I just like get this paranoia about being late for something or forgetting something exists. So I just like having it in multiple places. I'm also like a crazy person, and I have multiple spreadsheets that are tracking everything and all of my thoughts, because I'm going through so many interviews that like all of the positions are relatively similar, because I'm like at the mid-career stage that like everything is just very similar. So I kind of am also like at the middle age stage where I can't remember the details. So I have to write things down right after I finish. So not only do I have my paper notebook with my handwritten notes in real time, but I also kind of write my general gut sense in that spreadsheet, and I'm kind of hanging on to it there. I think I'll probably eat lunch after my interview and then maybe go to Target. I still want to get Peeps. I really want Peeps. It's my one happiness per spring. But my allergies are so bad. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can feel it in my voice that it's kind of like raspy, wheezy. I hope it doesn't sound so bad. I was just messing around on Instagram when I'm studying for my interview. Oh, my hair. But yeah, anyway, I just realized I have like 150 hidden request messages on my Instagram, and some of them are from like 3 years ago. Where did those come from? But like Instagram hides a lot of things, and you have to mess around with your settings in the request section. So I had it as all requests, but it wasn't giving me all of my requests. So I had to change it to top requests, and then I could see everything, and I was like, dang, some of these people probably think I'm a delinquent. So I just finished. So whenever I talk with C-suite, the interviews are always a lot shorter than you think they're going to be. I think it went okay. It seemed like somewhat positive at the end. It does seem like a company that I'm actually interested in, and they also were like, you could stay remote, so it's fine. Part of me was like, I don't want to be remote, but also like I don't think they're gonna have as many cush amenities as my last company. Okay, so making a couple of tortillas in here as chips, and then I also have this Fiesta Lime chopped kit from Dole. This one sounds kind of interesting. It's obviously new, so I've never tried it before, so I'm hoping that it tastes better than yesterday's, because the iceberg in yesterday's was kind of gross tasting chemically. And I'm gonna also have the other half of the sandwich. Split it in half, but look at all these extras. They got cheese, corn, I don't know what this is. It's like it doesn't even have a label, some sort of weird powder, and then salad dressing. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and as one does when they spill a little bit of dressing, I tasted it. I now understand why some people think that cilantro has a soapy taste. So obviously haven't left my house yet. Don't know if I'm going to. I might just put on workout clothes and kind of exercise because I'm feeling tired. Oh, I don't know. I also really want a snack, but maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to crack into those backyard barbecue chips that I bought yesterday at the discount store. And then, wait, no, I need to go to Target today, because if I want Peeps, they'll only be available today, I'm pretty sure. Put some shoes on and a jacket. It's like in the 60s today, so it's gonna be a pretty good walk, like weather-wise, so yeah, I'll do that. I'm also still charging my phone. This tree is starting to shed its little petals. Made it to Target. Look at these funny plush. The thing is behind the glass is like super weird here. A nuisance. That's weird because that means people steal it the most. Okay, I went on like a 5-mile walk again, so went to Target, long story, but finally picked up some cotton swabs because I really actually do need these, and the fact that they never came in Amazon was very frustrating, and these were obviously much cheaper. And then I also had a coupon to get a free rebate for this, so I wanted to try it out. It's half-day peach iced tea. It's kind of expensive if I didn't have the free rebate, but it's $2.49 per can. But it's like kind of like one of those probiotic drinks, I guess. And it's iced tea rather than soda, so we'll see. And then I also wanted some beer in the house. I actually wanted seltzer, but honestly it was a little bit overwhelming. There's too many choices, and they also lock up all the liquor. So it's not even liquor, it's all of the beverages were in places where you had to ask for help. So I just chose this one because it seemed safe, because I like IPAs, and it had multiple hazies and doubles and stuff like that. So as you know, I love IPAs. I don't know what this 8 days a week though is. I feel like that one's probably one I'm not going to enjoy as much. New Haze, the 2X IPA, double IPA, the IPA India Pale Ale, and then the 2X Haze. I am so excited to try this one because I love a hazy and I love doubles, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to put this in the fridge. It was kind of expensive at my grocery store because they don't put prices on stuff, so I kind of went in blind, but I did have a rebate on the rebate app, so I got a decent price on it. It came out to like $1.25 per can, which is like kind of expensive, but kind of not at the same time. My house still smells like fish, so I opened up the, the window, and I have like the essential oils running overtime. But review of this is actually one of the best flavors I tried of the seltzer brand. And I almost picked some up at the store because they had Polar on sale, and that's my favorite seltzer, but I held back. Also, I didn't want to carry it, so that also helps. My arm muscles are kind of weak. While I was out and about, I ran the dishwasher, so I gotta empty this. I have so much in here because I remembered to finally unpack some of my dishes that I had packed up from when I moved back here. Dinner today, I have some leftover soup. I also sliced up, I toasted a slice of that sourdough bread, throw some butter on there, and then the other half of the salad. My brain is fried today. I'm also going to try this, so this will not help later, but let me do a taste test for this. I am so excited to try this. This is the new one, but this is the Hazy Juicy Double IPA from Southern Tier. It turns out this is a relatively big company. Like, they have 5, I think, tasting rooms throughout the Northeast. Okay, so I'm going to try this double hazy. I love a good hazy, and I love a good double, and I love an IPA in general. I'm not a huge fan of the West Coast. There is another box that was like just IPAs, so the other one that's in here is like a blonde, so I'm a little bit less happy about that one, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, this one I'm gonna start with because this is the most exciting one to me. Oh, I like it. It's a little bit citrus, but it's very hazy actually. Like, I can kind of feel like the haziness on my tongue, which seems a little bit weird, but if you like a good hazy, I would say you probably want to try this one out. So even though it was very expensive, not unhappy about that beer choice for that, like, you know, the 12-15 pack. But I should have bought it at Rite Aid because they had it for a lot cheaper there. So now that I know that I like it, I'll go back to Rite Aid and push the button and ask the man to open the keyed entry coolers for me. It is Monday night and it's time to get ready for bed. I've just had a little bit of a breakdown, and I had to call my mom because I've been undergoing a lot of kind of racism for the past couple of weeks. The breaking point was Target today. Because the person legitimately was like, do you even understand what I'm saying? Do you speak English? And I said, yes, I speak English. So the other things that are going on are job related, and it's just been everything together has been just this explosion of issues, and today was the day. So basically some of the job companies have been kind of making some racist assumptions about me, about my background and things. People did it at my old job too, which is part of my issues. So I mean, it's just been constant. I've never had this much discrimination in my previous career at all, and I was working as a foreigner in another country and I didn't face as much discrimination. So I mean, it's been kind of rough because I think I mentioned it, but when I was in Boston last week, one of the people asked me a very out of line question. I had to even be like, yeah, I don't think you can legally ask me that. And they're like, yeah, you're right. Well, just stop. I'm just personally curious about it. I just want to understand you as a person. I said, that doesn't matter. You can't ask me that question. It's out of bounds. Because just so you know, the question they can ask is, in the US at least, are you legally authorized to work in the country in which you applied? You know, that question that is on every single job form, that's the one they can ask you. Anything past that, they can't ask you. Actually, I don't know. I don't have super top secret clearance, so maybe they could ask you that. Probably they can, I would assume. But yeah, other than that, anything else about like your background or anything is very off limits, because the person kept going, and like I've had the issue in the past when I was applying for the last round of jobs before this most recent company, and the company I really wanted to work at was like, one of the people was like asking me so many out of line questions in a row that it basically was like badgering me into answering, and I had to report him to HR like right after the interview, and it was like it got escalated so quickly. So in retrospect, probably should have gone to that company with the way they handled the situation versus, you know, my previous company. But yeah, that company handled it really swiftly. I talked to the CEO, I talked to the COO about the issue, and then they like definitely were like very apologetic, and they said you're never going to have to work with person X ever if you do come to work at this company. So the way they handled it was good, but it's also like it shouldn't be happening as often as it does. So basically people are asking like, where were you born? Why were you born there? And it's like, I don't know. That's just when the timer was up. I don't know, like you can't ask those questions in the US at least. And then like it just kept going on, and it was like the other people were like, why did you lie on your resume and not write that you're a native Korean speaker? And I was like, because I'm not a native Korean speaker, so that would have been a lie. And then it's like, can't you tell that like I'm not a native Korean speaker because I speak English with zero accent except for maybe every once in a while in Minnesota and then otherwise, yeah, just was working on getting some videos edited, kind of relaxing a little bit because I've been kind of stressed out recently. And then tomorrow I have a couple of interviews and a couple, I think there might be final on one of them, not entirely sure about the process because this one moved really quickly. So that was the one that I talked to the C-suite today. I forgot I had this, so I'm going to refill my coffee jar with this from Aldi. This is actually a really good price. It's more than £1, and I think it was like $5. Got my whole setup in here, so notebook, toast with everything but bagel and butter. This mouse is really nice. It's really smooth and really soft click, like you can barely even hear the click, and like the roller scroller thingy is really smooth. Love the mechanical keyboard. My parents got me this for Christmas. With Mac, these don't really work very well, just so you know. The emojis don't really work, but that's fine. I just really like the feeling of the mechanical keyboard. Got my coffee, got my water. Time to get down to business. I spent the entire morning trying to transfer over my 401k and my HSAs. Oh, what a disaster. HSA was the worst because people kept using different meanings of the same word. So I'm obviously doing a distribution. So they're like, oh, just do a distribution. But then they kept calling it a rollover, but it's actually a transfer. And then each of the banks doesn't talk to each other. So I have to do all the running around. And then each of them was like, oh, that's not us. You have to call the other bank. I said, well, they told me that it's you, not them. And they said, no, that's wrong. Why are they telling you that? I said, I don't know. Why don't you all get in like the same room or something? So then I called back the other bank and they're like, oh yeah, just click the rollover thing. The big issue was the first person on one of the bank sides was like, click a normal distribution on the form because that's what it is. And then as I was reading it, I was like, that doesn't seem right, because a normal distribution would be like, I have to pay taxes to the tax man, because it would be like I'm using my HSA money to pay for like a car or something that's not a qualified medical expense, so I have to pay taxes on it. So I was like, I don't think that's right. So then I called the bank where I'm trying to transfer it to, and I was like, I don't know, like I'm trying to fill out the form, and I was like, I filled out your form, so now what do I do? They're like, well, if your other bank has a form, then use their form. I said, yeah, but then do I send both forms, one to you and one to them? They said, why would you do that? I said, I don't know, there's so many forms around here. And then it was just like intense. So then I had to call back the other bank where I'm trying to transfer from, and the guy's like, oh yeah, it's just it's a rollover, so you're just transferring the money. So I said, yeah, but rollover and transfer are each a different category of selections on your form. Which one is it? So then he like had to go ask his team lead, and we finally got it settled. So finally got that set up, got my 401k set up, I believe. Hopefully all this disaster will be done in 2 weeks. I don't know, I'm so stressed out. But then the good news is I did not get the job from last week, and usually people would be upset about that, but honestly it was making me have so much anxiety last night. I was like grinding my teeth because I kept thinking about like what to do, because I think I would have been absolutely miserable there, because there was just so much of the process that made it seem, and when I told my mom it, she's like, they sound very green. I said, yeah, I think so, because it was also like the process was very last minute. Everything was last minute, and I like to plan things out a little bit because I was like, it's kind of disrespectful for me, the candidate, that they don't give me the information about going on site until less than 12 hours before I'm supposed to be there. And it's like, I need a little bit more notice. And I had even told the recruiter, I was like, honestly, I need like 3 to 4 days notice so I can like make sure I don't like schedule anything. I can block out my time. And it was like last minute. He was like, well, just kind of assume that you're gonna be there on Thursday. I said, yeah, but I want to have a confirmation because I also like don't want to take myself out of the running for other jobs because I blacked out my calendar for Thursday when I'm not actually going to be there. So anyway, it was just like I was gonna say cacophony. It was just like so many red flags all at one time, because the other thing was that a lot of the benefits were just really bad. They weren't even like standard in the US. So like, I think I griped about this. So that was bad. And then they also like, they wrote that they had professional development funds, like $20,000 per year. But when I had asked people, they're like, oh yeah, there were budget cuts. So like, we haven't been able to do any conferences. We haven't been able to take any courses or anything. I was like, oh, that's kind of a red flag. That's just me rambling about nothing. So I'm gonna go mail my forms. So I will be jumping out of the house, and then I have an interview in about an hour and a half. So I have to get centered for that, and then another one in an hour and a half after that. I'm also getting very annoyed. So I don't know. I have to like, my mom says that I need to like learn how to meditate or do yoga or something. Maybe I just need to exercise more, I think. But getting out of the house will help, so gonna do that quickly. It's very sunny. It's like 80 degrees. Back in my house, I forgot that high schools, like people are like adults basically, and they could just like wander around. And if you don't know this about me, my number one fear is whales, but I am also equally, if not more, scared of high school students. So anyway, I am eating lunch now, as you can see with my chopsticks here, and let me show you what I got. So yeah, basically my house was only just now stopping smelling like, that was the weird way to phrase it. It doesn't smell like fish so much anymore, so I figured I may as well make fish now. So I have fish and veg for lunch today. A little bit hungry, so I'm gonna make these. These are actually really good noodles. They are from, I think, Costco, but I think you can also buy them on Amazon, so I'll try to link you if you're interested in seeing reviews, other than my very useless reviews. But they're like quote-unquote healthier. I don't know, they don't have MSG. I don't feel a certain way about MSG, but yeah. Sounded good to add. That's just some flakes from a Japanese supermarket, but it does have fish in it, so maybe it'll go well with what else I've eaten. But yeah, done with the first round of interviews for today. I'm gonna pour myself a snack, and this is why my face is the size of a balloon. Gotta get ready to go. It's been 10 minutes, nobody showed up. I don't know what to do. I emailed the recruiter. Actually it's like the HR recruiter person, so I don't know what to do. Oh, the person was real late. 15 minutes late. That's late. But yeah, anyway, I am done with that. So I'm going to change, and I think I'm gonna work out tonight. Not tonight, it's still afternoon. It is 4:30, so we'll see. I'm gonna try to get an hour workout in. I just feel like I'm not like mentally there right now. Part of me was like looking into getting a membership at the gym by my house, but it's just so expensive. I can't justify it. So then I looked at ClassPass because they also do ClassPass, but again, I don't know if it's worth the investment. I don't know. My friend never told me if she thought it was worth it or not for her to join ClassPass. I just finished my workout. So number one, this yoga mat has seen better days, but worth the whatever I spent for like $5.99 from TJ Maxx. No, it was Marshalls. Anyway, I just wanted to comment on this because I just took off these shoes because I use them for workouts. But little did I know that in 2019 when I purchased these, when these were like the new up-and-coming shoes, that now they would be trending in 2023. So these are the On brand. They're really good. So I have really flat feet and unstable ankles. And when I went to the running store, they really recommended these as running shoes for me. So I still work out in them because I'm not running as much anymore. But yeah, these are the Cloud Surfers. They have a whole huge line now, and I was going to buy new replacements for these because even though they don't look worn out, I've used them for like 3 years straight, which is definitely time to be replaced, even though they don't look worn out on the bottom because I don't run outside. But the price is like pretty good. They're like 150-ish, I think, maybe 175, which is a pretty good price for high quality running shoes, and they really legitimately are very stable. I usually had to use so I have really small feet. I used to have to always buy the New Balance ones with the stabilizers in them, and this is a good alternative according to the New York runners or whatever that store is called in Times Square. They are the ones who sponsor the marathon. Anyway, I thought I would just kind of shout these shoes out. I also recommended my friend to try them out, and she loved them, and she was like, yeah, even though they're pricey, they last a really long time, so highly worth the investment. I think they're Swiss now that I'm looking at this, and I think I remember the guy telling me that they're Swiss. Okay, so I'm all showered. Somebody's fire alarm just started going off. So my mom was talking to me on the phone yesterday, and she was like, dang, that bird is really loud, and I didn't hear it. Now I hear it. It is really loud. And now as soon as I called to it, it doesn't make the noise anymore. But yeah, anyway, it's like 6:36 right now, and I'm not really hungry yet, so I might just drink water and drink a juice if I'm being honest, and maybe a protein drink. And then if I'm still hungry, probably eat some soup. And it looks like I have no neck right now. I promise I have a neck. But yeah, anyway, that workout was pretty intense. So I did cardio for about 40 minutes, and then I switched over to kettlebell for about 10, but that got kind of boring, honestly. So then I was like, oh, I'll look on YouTube for like an easy beginner 20-minute workout, and I found one, and it was definitely for beginners, and I'm below a beginner, so it was pretty hard. So I think I'm going to continue trying to do that one because it's like pretty low time pressure. Like 20 minutes wasn't bad, so I want to see if I can make an improvement, because by the end it was like getting really hard, because I was like at about minute 9 and 9.5, I was like, it has to be like almost over. No, it wasn't. Also unrelated, but I think I'm getting a sty, and it really hurts to blink, so I might have to wear my nerd goggles for the rest of the week. But I feel like pretty okay about this position, like my capabilities for it. It's not like me feeling like I have imposter syndrome at this point, but I don't think that I'm necessarily, I feel like they're kind of a new company, so I think they want somebody with more experience, like somebody with like 20 plus years of experience or something like that. That's typically what I've been finding recently, especially because it's like definitely a buyer's market, not an employee market anymore. So this totally sucks timing wise, like, so now it's like a little bit harder to find positions, so it's just kind of biding my time. I do have an in-person next week, and that one I feel like pretty okay with, and I'm pretty sure I can do it because it's basically like my old job. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one, but other than that, just trying to not get too much in my head. But yeah, I really do think I need to join a gym or something, because even the hotel gym, that was kind of sad. I think I tried to record it, and then I was like, I'm gonna do a full-on tour of that hotel gym, but as soon as I was like almost done with my workout, people came in, so I couldn't show you. But the wallpaper in there was so creepy. But even with that creepy wallpaper and it being like only the bare minimum, I got a lot done, and I could see myself totally being able to do more with more equipment and just kind of slightly bigger space. But yeah, the wallpaper had like people in their faces, so the guy next to me, he was like, his head was like the same size as like my torso up to my head. They were just staring at me the whole entire time. It was like, and I could like have reached his nose and bopped it. That's how close it was. So it was like kind of eerie because it was out the corner of my eye and the periphery. So like I was like trying to look forward to watch like, you know, straight ahead, but like it kept on seeing it. And then there were like people on the other side that were also like doing like, I don't know, stretches or something on the wall. And then above the mirror in front of me, there was like a person doing splits, and they're peeking their eyes over the top. It was so creepy. I hope I was able to show that in like what I did, my quick walkthrough of the gym. I lied, I got hungry, so I also don't know why my head looks like a mushroom right now. But I'm going to make a pasta salad for dinner. I'm just kind of sick of soup, if I'm being honest. So I have pasta, obviously, and then I have Olive Garden dressing. I like using that as like a... Actually, I have a bag salad. No, I want pasta salad. I put half of it in this bowl for dinner, and then I put half in the fridge for later. But I also added some of those sun-dried tomatoes, and I'm drinking a Mio lemonade. So I do like the Mio, see the weird squeezy thing, those squeeze bottles, because you can add just a little bit to water and it adds just so much flavoring. I'm sitting here editing, and I was watching in the background YouTube, and I was like, why does everyone sound so drunk on here? Like every video I was like, dang, they're all drunk, what's happening? Turns out my TV had automatically changed it to 0.75 times speed, and if you know me, you know that I watch it on 1.5 or at least 1.5, usually 2 times speed. So I was like, what is happening? I'm not drunk, all I've had today was water, what's going on? Yeah, so anyway, that happened. I turned it back 2 times. back in my sweet zone. It's just like now, whenever I have conversations with people in real life, I'm like, dang, the people talk so slowly. What's going on? But yeah, anyway, I am editing, and I'm also trying to keep my mind off of the whole job process because I don't know. I have a couple more interviews tomorrow, but I'm supposed to meet up with my former colleague for drinks, but I think I'm going to cancel. I don't know if I necessarily trust them at this point because I don't know if information is going to get back to management or like what's going on. I don't think so. I think we're friends, but like it's also like I don't think that that's a good idea right now. But yeah. Oh, did you hear that? My neck. But yeah, that workout was good. I can feel my legs feeling like jello, so definitely a good workout. So if I'm gonna continue it and I enjoy it, I'll try to link it eventually. Actual real person question. So there's like this trend on YouTube where people are like restocking their guest room bathrooms with like travel size stuff like toiletries and things. That seems so wasteful to me. Does anyone actually do that, or is that like a YouTube trend thing? Because that sounds like actual, like the world is on fire, like you shouldn't be doing that sort of situation. Also, this angle is really good. Looks like I have a defined chin. But yeah, anyway, I'm just kind of disgusted right now, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to go to bed now. I don't have anything really scheduled for tomorrow, but I do think I'm going to cancel with my colleague, or former colleague rather, because again, I just don't know if I can trust what's happening there. But I think I can because, yeah, anyway. It's going to be hot tomorrow as well, so I also don't want to leave my apartment. By hot, I mean like mid-80s, which is like very sudden because last weekend it was like in the 40s. So this is just like springtime. I should be used to it. Good morning, it's Wednesday, and I decided to dry shampoo my hair today because I washed my hair twice yesterday and I don't want it to get all dried out. I'm going to be doing this ice roll. I have to take my glasses, but my eye, that sty, I think is very close to coming. So yeah, today I don't have anything scheduled, I don't think, so I'm gonna just spend today applying to jobs, prepping for my interview next week, the in-person one, because that's the one I actually kind of want, because it seems very stable. I don't have to leave my apartment. I mean, like, I don't have to move. I'll have to go into the office, but anyway, that's the plan. So I will check in whenever I check in. I'm making a piece of toast, and I'm also making coffee. I made a little bit of a toast, so I put some tomatoes on it and some cheese. So this will be breakfast. Some of the cheese fell off apparently and got kind of crispy. I got really into the zone. It's like 1:30, so it's time to eat. I applied to like 20 jobs today. They're all like in a different sort of avenue that's more intriguing to me than the part that's like the interviews that I've been doing have been in a different part of my resume that is a little bit less intriguing to me, but I have a better fit with. In terms of my most recent experience. You know the drill. Got my applewood bacon salad kit, gonna put it in halves, and I also have leftover soup. So this is what it's gonna be for lunch, very quick. This is lunch. So I got my soup, added red pepper flakes, and then I also have half of that salad mix, but I also added, I was too lazy to cut the tomatoes, you caught me, but yeah, I added a bunch of tomatoes in here just so I could continue eating them up and to add a little bit extra flavor and bulk to the salad. So this is lunch. Okay, so it's time to do my workout, and my hair is looking like a disaster, but that's what I get for not washing it this morning because I didn't want it to die. But yeah, I'm going to do some cardio on my machine back there, and then I'm going to do that 20-minute workout afterwards. Hopefully make it past 9 minutes, 22 seconds before I feel like, this must be almost over. Done with my workout. I accidentally worked out for like an hour on the machine thingy. It's a Gazelle. I do think it's good for small spaces. I probably wouldn't buy it again if I'm being honest. I did get the premium deluxe one, but I can't use it in my building, so I wouldn't recommend buying the deluxe one. I would recommend buying the basic one if you live in an apartment building, because it has like these pistons on the side and it kind of increases the resistance, but they make a lot of noise, so it's like clanking noises, so not great if you're in an apartment building. So I never use those, so I think I would enjoy the machine more if I was able to change the resistance. It's just like, it's a fine workout, it's cardio, it gets the job done and stuff like that. I tried a different workout from the channel I just found, MadFit. So I thought originally, because there's an ad for an app, I thought it was like a corporate thing. I think MadFit is for somebody named Madeline. She looks like a Madison, like a white girl thing. There was a couple times where like, I don't know, aerobic exercises, it's like not my favorite because I think too much. So sometimes I get out of sync and then I have to like stop and reset myself because it's like a lot of cross body movement, like the right, see, I have my left hand up, the left hand up and the right leg out or something like that. And I always get like mixed up because when I think about it too much, I just can't do it. Finally got hungry, so this is my salad. The other half of the salad from lunch, having this cold pressed juice, and I'm also making a tortilla into chips in the air fryers. Update, made 2 tortillas now. I'm also going to give this a taste test. I haven't tried it yet. It's the greens one. Honestly, I'm a little bit scared because the red one wasn't that good. It tasted like dirt. This one has kale, spinach, apple, cucumber, celery, lemon, and 2 pieces of ginger. So let's see how it is. Hopefully it's kind of spicy with the ginger because I like the ginger flavor. So I'm going to open this and I'll give you a first impression. Okay, the smell is very interesting, but this one smells more promising than the red one did. Okay, so this one tastes like I'm eating leaves. It's like a very interesting flavor profile. Like you can have a little bit of like kind of a fruity flavor. My guess is that apple is pretty fruity. And then you also have like, it tastes like, you know, like when you walk into like a garden center and you take that first bright breath in and it's like kind of like a fertilizer flavor. Yeah, that's kind of what it tastes like to me. So my review is, sorry, Trader Joe's cold pressed juices, while they are a little bit cheaper than like Juice Press or whatever, any of those juice stores, there's a reason. So actually the one that I went to the other day, Pressed Juicery, they're having a huge sale right now. So it's actually cheaper to buy it there than it is to buy the Trader Joe's ones. And those taste so much better. But yeah, I'm going to finish drinking this and hopefully my tortilla chips are going to be done soon because I want something crunchy. So if I go out and I find yoga mat cleaner, I'll do this, but I'm just spraying Lysol right now because I mean, I was sweaty. Time to blow out the candle and go to bed. It's Wednesday evening and honestly, I made the best decision for my mental by not going to meet my former colleague. So yeah, anyway, I am definitely feeling those exercise. So I don't know if I told you, but basically each of the workouts for this particular YouTuber that I found, can't remember the name now, I told you in the previous clip. But yeah, anyway, every single one of her workouts has at least 2 reps of like 45 seconds of squats. Yeah, squats. See how good of exerciser I am? Anyway, I can feel them. They're very, very stiff here trying to sit down. But I am getting ready for bed. My skin feels okay, like texture-wise, after doing skincare after my shower. So hopefully I'll be able to take care of some of the leftover discoloration and stuff like that. So I have quite a few open right now and I'm trying to just clear out a few, but honestly I have like a few products that I kind of want to have replacements of already in the rotation. Like I kind of want another hydrating serum because this guy here is good, but it's just like not really like a serum, it's more like a serum lotion. So yeah, it's like a little bit watery lotion, not like a cream or anything like that. And then I have all my sunscreens over there. There's a lot of them actually. They have them spread out everywhere. And then down here, I've been trying to use this more religiously. It's the Wander Beauty Sightseer. Honestly, I don't know why the print is coming off. But it is. So eventually I'm gonna have no idea what product this is. But yeah, it's been working okay. It's not scented or anything, so I do appreciate that. I've also been kind of using this one because I had been savoring it for so long because it's so expensive. But honestly, I should have just used it because then I maybe would not be in the predicament I am now with all of those age spots and sunspots or whatever. This guy I like. Using this scar gel here that I got in PR for some of my acne scarring, and then Dermalect, etc. So you know which ones are my favorite, but yeah, I'm trying to use up a bunch of these. I'm almost done with this guy here, the Beauty Stat. It's pretty good. It's kind of more like an ointment texture. This one I don't think I enjoy. I might actually put it in my discards or whatever, the empties, because it has a smell now. When I first opened it, I thought it was kind of like a natural smell, but it does smell natural, but it smells like a wet dog. So I think this one might actually be also causing me to have some little, like, maybe it's milia. I have these like little white bumps all over, so I think I'm gonna put this one in the empties pile. So that was the skincare update. My other update is tomorrow. I don't have any plans actually. So I think tomorrow I will probably be rearranging my closet. I'll try to show it to you. So basically, in here I have a bunch of like sweaters and blouses and stuff, and then I also have some dresses over to the side there. But yeah, basically what happened was a lot of my hangers are actually from when I graduated college, and I moved to DC for some work. So they're like plastic hangers I bought in whatever year that was, and they're like definitely more than a decade old. So the plastic is getting a little bit outdated and very brittle. So a few of them have cracked in my hand as I've been like trying to take them off of the thing. I wasn't being rowdy with them or anything. I was just like lifting them off and they just cracked. So that's just normal plastic stuff. So anyway, I am planning on replacing a lot of those with, I bought some slimline sort of velvet hangers. I got a really good coupon on Amazon. I think I paid $12.49 for 30 of them. So it came down to less than 50 cents. Obviously, I'm lazy math. That's my whole motto, is lazy math. So I felt okay buying them. So the other thing with the plastic hangers is not only are they now getting brittle, but the tubing, they're like the plastic like tube style ones from like the 80s or whatever. They're actually quite thick. So it just like takes up unnecessary space in the closet. So if I have the velvet hangers, they're slimmer, and they also will not stretch my clothing as much. So the plastic ones leave like weird like bubbles and stuff in my sweaters just because they're thicker, obviously. The velvet ones are nice because also they don't slip. I'm giving a review of hangers right now, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows what hangers are like. Anyway, so I'm going to probably redo and reorganize my closet over there tomorrow, just because I don't think I need to do too much job stuff tomorrow. I had so many new things that popped up, and also some things that have been like on the market for like 6 months. So I found like a position that's basically the same as one that I applied at and finished the final interviews. That's the one with 8 panel interviews that were 30 minutes long, that were all right back to back 2 days in a row. Yeah, so that one, I found like a very similar position, and it's like a very similar sort of company in the industry I want to work in, like what my background is in, what my passion's in. So I applied to that one, and the head of the global whatever, I don't want to say which department it is, looked at my LinkedIn, not yesterday, a couple of hours ago. So I'm feeling like maybe it might be a good sign. They might have also looked at my LinkedIn and like, they think that they can take this position. But yeah, anyway, that job that I interviewed at already and finished the final rounds, that one I actually really want to work at the company, just because that's the type of industry part that I want to get back into and kind of do more, because it's like actually my passion, you know? Exciting, but the thing is that I felt like I had imposter syndrome, and I told the HR person this, and I think my mom was telling me, so I'm like, maybe I'm being too honest in my interviews, because I'm always like, I'm a person who always wants to under promise and over deliver. So yesterday somebody was like, can you rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 about XYZ? And I was like, I don't actually know what a 10 would be, because I said there's always innovation in the space. So I'd say I was like, so personally I would never give myself a 10 for anything except for maybe writing my own signature, but again, I change my signature up every once in a while. So I gave myself like a conservative 6-7, just because I was like, I still have a lot to learn, and I think everybody can communicate and like learn from each other. Everybody has different perspectives, etc. But when I talked to the HR person a couple weeks ago for this position, I was like, I have imposter syndrome right now. And then they're like, well, why? And then they're like, oh, you have all the heavy hitters in this round. And I said, I hope so. But I said, I don't know, maybe this company also just attracts the heavy hitters, which is also the case. The people were very like, their resumes were like, oh my gosh, why am I even talking to them? I never got back to my original topic. So basically, yeah, I found a similar company, similar position, similar everything. But rather than in Boston, it might be either in Seattle or DC. So I think I actually like Seattle and DC better than Boston, even though Seattle honestly kind of scares me. DC I've lived in before, so I think I could survive there. Seattle is intriguing, but then when I was on my vacation before the Alaska cruise and the afterwards, it wasn't feeling very safe, actually. And honestly, like in the past, I had thought Philly felt unsafe, but Philly felt very safe recently. Like when I went for my birthday last year, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. It felt very safe. But Seattle honestly felt like the least safe place I've traveled, I think, in recent times. I felt more unsafe in Seattle than I do in New York, and everybody's so scared of New York, but I feel like the one thing is I do have more friends now who live in Seattle than I do in DC. It's just that I feel like DC is more my style, like personality type than Seattle, but I've also never lived in Seattle, so I don't know. It's hard to do. I mean, I'm talking like I'm even getting an interview at this point. Who knows?